You're listening to Power Talk, Berkeley Electric Cooperative's official broadcast about the cooperative, our communities, and ways to use energy wisely. And now, let's join our hosts for today's episode.
Good morning, Low Country. This is Libby Rohrig, Director of Marketing and Communications for Berkeley Electric. And I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Miss Dana Jenkins, Public Relations Specialist for BEC. Welcome, Dana.
Welcome.
We have a full studio today. That's how we like it, with some of our young guests who recently had hopefully a really important experience in their lifetime, courtesy of the co-op. So we're going to learn all about what all they did and why it was so wonderful. So a couple more introductions. Welcome, King Yi, a senior at Academic Magnet. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi. Yeah, I'm King, and I go to Magnet. I'll be a rising senior.
Awesome.
And he attended Youth Tour.
Yes,
Right.
Youth Tour.
And Dong Yi, Junior at Academic Magnet and a Youth Summit participant. Welcome.
Yep. Yes, yeah, I'm Dong. I attended Youth Summit this past 2 weeks ago. It's very fun.
Nice.
Good.
Well, we appreciate you coming. And as part of the Power Talk tradition, when we have new guests join us, they get a ceremonial branded Power Talk mug. So for each of you guys.
Oh, thank you very much.
If you don't drink coffee yet, they're great.
I'll use this for water.
Water, hot chocolate when the
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Sure, when you guys go off to your next educational venture, soup in a cup will probably be a big deal for you.
Not these days, not in this heat, but ice cold beverages.
Yes, we are all looking forward to fall. It has been a spicy summer. So welcome, King and Dong. We're excited to get to know you, but just give our audience a little bit of background about why you're here. For those of you listening who may not be familiar with cooperatives, we at Berkeley Electric are a not-for-profit co-op, and we're governed by 7 cooperative principles. And one of our favorites is the concern for community principle. So what that means and how it comes to action is that while focusing on our members' needs, and members are the people that we serve, co-ops work to develop their community by encouraging economic development, promoting education, and advocating safe use of electricity. So it's just a fancy way of saying we're committed to doing a lot of research, outreach rather, to our schools and students. And each year, Berkeley Electric sponsors 2 leadership experiences for high school students. Up first is Youth Tour, and it's for juniors. And it takes students on an all expenses paid experience in Washington, D.C. in June. And all expenses paid means free.
Free, yes.
For these students, airfare and everything included. And our second leadership experience is the Cooperative Youth Summit, and another all expenses paid trip, this time to the state's capital, and that happens in July. So we're so proud that each of you represented the co-op on these trips, and we're thrilled to have you with us today to share your experience with our listeners.
Okay, so I've had the pleasure of being around you guys for a little bit, but to our audience that don't know you, let's start by each of you telling us a little bit about yourself. King, we'll start with you. Why did you apply for Youth Tour, and how did you feel when you were selected to be sponsored for this opportunity?
Yeah, so I found out about the Youth Tour through the emails that they send out, and then I saw the opportunity with the going to DC, and a big part of it was the all expenses paid, right? So I saw it, and then it was mainly I always wanted to go to DC. We went for a short time before, but we didn't get to see everything. And then the Youth Tour encompassed pretty much everything. We saw monuments, we saw museums, we got to meet the senators, Capitol Hill. That was super fun. And then so mainly I applied just because you get to go with a great group of people.
Yeah.
And then I saw all these people, and then we got to go see the monuments together. So it's greater memories, because if you go on your own, it's you just see it. But if you go with people, you make more experiences, you have more communications, and then you just see more things, and it's great. And then to be selected, I felt honored, honestly. when we went, I almost couldn't actually make the
I
interview because
remember.
I had a competition the same day, but I'm glad that I was able to make the interview and get selected. And honestly, it just felt great. And then, yeah.
Good, good. So what were you most excited or nervous about when you, going on the trip?
The most excited thing was probably just to see the museums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I was a little nervous about the people and the counselors because I haven't gone flying without my family before.
Ah,
Yeah, so going to the airport, it was interesting, but the counselors were great. They had us all sorted.
yeah.
Yeah, all the experience was and everything. They had us well taken care of.
Good, good.
So you'd done some traveling before. This was not your first
No,
trip.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got off a flight right before.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because we went to Denver.
Oh,
nice.
that's good.
Yeah, for a camp before.
Yeah.
And then we landed like the day before, so I was a little
Oh,
tired
goodness,
going into.
I bet.
Yeah.
But a very different experience for you, having mom and dad or whoever you travel with normally handle the travel arrangements, and you being somewhat responsible for getting
Right.
where you need to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And most of our flights are usually international than domestic, so I didn't even know about the Real ID thing.
Oh,
until-
yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a big thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Glad you
Well, awesome.
enjoyed the experience. And
Yeah.
So, what about you, Idong? Why did you apply for Youth Summit, and how did you feel when you were selected for this opportunity?
Same as you, King. I heard about this opportunity through an email. But like when I was applying, I wasn't like exactly sure like what exactly we were doing because the description is really vague on the website. But like after like
Gotta-
I applied
Fix that.
Yep. Mental note. Thank you. Thanks for your feedback.
and I was looking like through the stuff, I was still confused, but I was a little bit more clear of like we're just like visiting the state house and like the local area around Columbia. So then when I was selected, obviously it's like I feel honored to be accepted for like because I applied for this and
Yeah.
it's like not everyone gets accepted.
Yeah.
So I felt like honored being like one of the chosen ones.
Good.
you know?
Yep, you definitely
Right.
were, and a good choice indeed. Thank you.
Yeah, and we do have lots of students apply for both experiences.
Yes.
So, you guys definitely stood out to us. So we appreciate you applying and representing the co-op in that way. Now, had you spent much time in Columbia?
So we actually like go like 6 or 7 times a year
Yeah.
because of most competitions for piano are usually held up there.
Gotcha.
Because you had a competition that same weekend, didn't you? Or
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
both of you had competition. So wait, how did the competition go?
Which
It was-
one was that one?
He
It was a
won.
piano
It was
Oh, that
competition,
was
right?
yeah. It was,
was
Piano Federation
Piano Festival.
Festival, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So you both play piano?
Right.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Nice.
Good, good. So what were you most excited about, or even nervous before attending the trip?
I mean, I feel like I like meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it like gets me out of my zone and
Yeah.
like gets the new. I was definitely excited because of obviously away from the family for like it's not that long, so just short experience, be able to experience like being more free without the people watching me exactly closely. I was definitely nervous about like having to sleep with a couple roommates that I'm not sure of exactly because they're all randomized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, all good growth experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
good.
Well, so let's dive a little bit deeper into Youth Tour. That's that experience takes more than 1,500 students from across the nation. They all meet up in Washington D.C. each summer, and E-King traveled with other South Carolina juniors to the nation's capital, met U.S. representatives and senators, and watched history come alive as the group explored museums, memorials, and monuments, as you mentioned, all for free. So, E-King, tell us about what your experience was like. Were there any particular activities or places that you visit that were particularly memorable, and why?
So we were there for about a week. The weather wasn't the best, but I would say it's better than being scorching hot. It was just a little drizzling every now. Yeah. And then my favorite part was definitely the museums because they just have a lot of content you can go in. My favorite one would have to be the Natural History or the Air and Space Museum.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
yes.
the Air and Space Museum. You go in. There's so many things. They have a second floor. They were working on a part, so it was slightly closed. But there are still so many things to see. So we saw the different rovers, the different the I think it was Apollo things, and then Sputnik and all those. It was super cool. And then natural history, my favorite thing was just looking at the gemstones they had.
Yeah.
Because they had a whole section for geology, and then there was the Hope Diamond. You go in, there was thousands of different crystals.
Wow.
Yeah, and then there was a fossil section. With that part, I was walking with Griff. He was a different person on the tour. And then we walked around and we saw the different, the fossils, they had animals on, well, not animals, but they had like an evolution area.
Yeah.
And then they had geology. That was super fun. And then we were well taken care of throughout the whole thing. They gave us money for all the meals, and I actually came back with more than I went in with.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then and then the monuments, they gave us plenty of time to look at each one.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to look around at all the things, like the Lincoln Memorial is super cool. The Washington one, we had a fun picture there.
Nice.
And then the other one was the Vietnam.
Okay.
The Vietnam Memorial, super cool because you had like, it kind of went in the ground a little, and then you saw all the names across, and it was just super cool experience. Oh, another big one was the Holocaust. The Holocaust one, it was like a whole experience because you went in. I don't know if the elevator was kind of like a gas chamber, but it felt like it.
Yeah.
And then you went down, and then you gradually made your way back up, and then there were sections where you could. One of my favorite ones was there was this little quiet room, and then they had like a quote log essentially, and it was constantly playing the quotes throughout, and then you could read it, and it was just, you got to kind of almost experience what it was like to be at the is it called internment camps?
Concentration camp?
Concentration. Yeah. And
they did have internment camps in the U.S. too, where Japanese Americans were held.
I think that's where the confusion from came from. Yeah.
But
I haven't attended the Holocaust Museum, but I heard that
it's worth it.
Definitely
it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And my family actually just got back from traveling in the Northeast, and we went over to Toronto for a couple of days, and we were at the Royal Ontario Museum. And it's very similar to maybe the Natural History Museum, but they had a special exhibit on the Holocaust. And it, as much as you know about the Holocaust, it just still is a gut punch going through something.
Definitely, I'm pretty sure it's different.
Yeah.
Because I learned about it in class, but actually seeing it, there were so many more photos, and then they had a lot of talks, and then because they just had information sections on every little thing that you don't learn in class.
Right.
Because a little thing about because we learned about Hitler going into power and whatnot, but we don't get the little details of the lives of what happened to the people. So and then the thing is, because they give you a little card of who you are, and at the very end you find out if you lived or not. Yeah. And then that hit home a lot.
Yeah. Now, had you been at this museum before?
Never.
Or was this okay. I just thought you were there before.
When I did go there, I was mainly seeing monuments. I didn't go to see the museums.
Okay.
And this time it was,
Good. Well, I'm glad that we could, be a part of you being able to experience that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. All right. Cooperative Youth Summit. It's a 4-day experience in our capital city. It shows students from all over the state, outside of Columbia, like they've never seen it before. Students get to tour the State House, sharpen their leadership
Mm-hmm.
skills, as well as engage in team building activities. Learn about cooperative and how the state government works. Again, all for free. Idong, tell us about your experience at Cooperative Youth Summit this summer, and what were your favorite moments? Was it touring the State House, visiting the governor's office? What was your experience?
Hanging out with Dana.
Yeah, exactly. That's always a good time.
That's my favorite part.
Touring the State House was pretty cool. I mean, it was a pretty short time.
Yeah, it was.
It was like an hour to 2 hours-ish, and we were just hanging around in the lobby most of the time.
Yeah, I will say this year you guys didn't really get the full, advantage of it just because we were pressed for time, and a lot of them were not there. But in any event, you did get to see it and take pictures.
And you learned about some history about the governor and how he got to where he was. Mm-hmm. And then we also most of the time also spent listening to other speakers give out presentations talking about a lot of multitude of topics. We had a representative, I think his name was Micah, talk to us about his experience with running for in his local community as well as moving up to being a state representative. Mm-hmm. And then we also learned more about how the government actually functions as with the Congress. And we had a small group activity. It was learning about exactly how a bill gets passed. It was pretty fun having a presentation competition as well.
Yeah.
Where we split into 10 groups, and everyone, if you're group 1, each person would have got $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, my group did not unfortunately win, but it was still fun because it gave you something to do during the trip, because in the middle of the night, all you really could do was just wait there, maybe like scroll like on your phone or something. But like it was really nice having something to do because of it's a lot of money as well.
Yeah,
1,000.
You wanted to win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So actually this year for the first time they were able to tour CS, their new plant. So tell us about that. How do you feel about being at CS?
Oh, CS, because honestly, it's a pretty life-changing experience, because like it's like so dangerous if you think about it, with the electricians moving around the electrical lines, because like they had a lot of testing as well with the rubber gloves.
Yeah.
And like they put it in like water with like, and you could see like physically the electricity, like it was like purple, it was light, and it was like flowing in the water,
Arcing across?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
And then like they showed it was like detailed in how they like checked it, like the glove, they inflated the glove, and then like they checked every like nook and cranny to make sure there was like zero holes, because if like there's a hole, it's like it could be extremely dangerous for the people there.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the lady's name that did the demonstration with the gloves, but you can tell she's very passionate about her job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a good experience. I believe all the students really loved being at CS.
Well, and Dana and I work for the electric company, and every day I learn something new. And electricity is something that's so part of every moment of every day. We're also connected to our devices, and but there is so much to learn, and it's such a complicated science, and the equipment and technology that goes along with managing it and delivering it to homes is very complicated and interesting, I think.
Yes, and so many different hands that, just to make sure that everything is safe, just so we can provide safe, reliable, and affordable electricity.
Yeah, and we definitely want our ladies and gentlemen who are working on the system to go home safe to their families each night. Well, if you're just joining us, we have a couple of wonderful guests. King Yi, a senior at Academic Magnet, and he went on the youth tour experience. And Idong Yi, who's a junior at Academic Magnet, went on the youth summit. And they're joining us to tell us all about their experiences on the trip.
And I don't think we mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but they're brothers.
Good point. So, since both Youth Tour and Youth Summit are created and sponsored by the cooperatives, we strive to teach students about the cooperative business model. King, what did you learn about co-ops, either in general or specifically about Berkeley Electric, that you didn't know before?
So before, I knew that co-ops had those who paid would be part of the company essentially. And then I didn't really know, I thought it was like for profit, but after talking about it, it was non-profit, and everything that they make goes straight back into it. So it goes back to the pillars that you were talking about, the principles like for the community. And that's what I learned about it. And then another thing that I didn't really know was that all the members were elected by the board.
The board.
Yeah. And then and then I saw something, was it that electric cooperatives are trying to go for like safer energy, more cleaner energy compared to like the fossil fuels or whatnot. They're trying to go in a different direction. And then most of this was learned in actually the I forget what it was called, but it was where all the youth tour people from across the country, every state, they all met up for one thing. We actually switched pins there. That was one of the fun things, because we had pins, and then we would go to like scramble across to get to the state people first, because if somebody else gave them the South Carolina, they don't want yours anymore. So you gotta run around trying to collect all of them, and that was super fun. And then there was, I forget his name, but he was part of the Paralympics team, and he gave the keynote speech for that, and it was super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the year that I went, he spoke as well. Again, I can't remember his name, but he definitely had a great story, inspiring story.
Yeah. So, Idong, same question. What did you learn about your co-op or the co-op business model at Youth Summit?
Honestly, before the application, I had no clue what a co-op was.
That's fair.
Because like, in the actual application process for like applying to this, they actually like ask questions about co-op. So then I was like kind of scrambling online to make sure understanding
That's
what it
good.
is.
That's what we want you to do. That's how you learn.
And then like because like usually I only hear about co-ops and like games where you have a group of people play together. That's my only
Yeah,
co-op
exactly.
kind of experience. And then after learning, I'm realizing like it's honestly kind of great to be in one because you're kind of giving to yourself in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's 4 members and you're just like everything you put in, you get a part back. So
Yeah.
obviously the 7 principles. I learned about that during the application process. But it was definitely really cool learning more about co-ops and why it kind of works as a business model.
Yeah, good. Yep, sharpening leadership skills and personal growth are all important goals for Youth Tour and Youth Summit. Idong, how did Youth Summit change you? Like any new perspective, influence on your future goals?
So before, I honestly had zero like intention at all to like even think about like applying for like local positions for government. But like hearing from, as I said, Micah earlier, he said it was like actually quite easy to like, if you really want to run for a position, it's like not exactly the hardest to do, as long as you have like a drive to want to like achieve something within the community. You should like try to go out and seek it because there's no harm in trying.
Well, and to a lesser extent too, it's every organization in communities needs a couple pairs of hands to help out, and in our department, we encourage team members to volunteer for Dana serves on Rotary. I volunteer with Habitat for Humanity. There's so many organizations, whether separate from local government or just local nonprofits, that need people to help out. So, and within all these organizations have leadership opportunities. So if you're not quite ready to jump into local governance, I'd encourage you guys as you get older to seek out volunteer opportunities for any organizations. They're always looking for people to share their time and their talent.
Like actually, King is like doing something like on that actually.
Okay, nice.
Somewhere.
You're ahead of the curve.
Yeah, because there's the R.D. Bennett scholarship that they do.
Okay.
And then so I'm working on something like that with Landmarks for Families.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just raising money and then spreading awareness of the programs they do because they help underserved
awesome.
families in the area. And then they have tons of free programs for people to work on.
Yeah. So, everybody needs a little bit of help. And certainly we need good minds to help out in our local government and state and federal levels as well. So,
okay. So I'm going to direct the question to you, King. Like, how did Youth Tour change you?
It just gave me a greater appreciation for history because as we looked around, we saw the monuments. It gave me a deeper view of how the nation formed and then the different the key values that they had. We saw the Fort McHenry where they made the Star-Spangled Banner. And then we went to, like I said earlier, the different monuments, the Holocaust Museum, all types. And then that just gave me a deeper understanding because, as I said, you could learn it in class, but it gives you a deeper impression if you go in person. And it just gave me a greater view and perspective on what's going on and what's happening. And then also going to Capitol Hill and meeting the senators Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham was super cool. I didn't end up getting a picture, but a few people did.
Yeah.
And then another thing was I didn't know it was open for you to go see like Congress when they're in session. They weren't in session when we were there, but we went to the balcony where you can just view them live. I didn't know that you could just watch what's going on. And that was super cool. We didn't get to go to the roof, but other groups did. They had like a great view and they took a great picture. But yeah, it just gave me a greater understanding and new perspective overall.
Good. So let's talk about the fun aspect of it. Did you enjoy the boat ride?
The boat ride was fun because it was us, I believe, Iowa or maybe Idaho. They had a corn necklace, but it was...
Yeah.
And then there was...
Iowa.
Probably. And
Idaho's
then the last
potatoes.
one was Hawaii there? I forget, but there was one other state there. It was the three of us, the group, on the boat. It was like tacos, and then there was this, we had a little dance party. It was really loud. People were getting pretty rowdy. And then if you were on the level right underneath where the dance floor was, you could see this chandelier almost like coming down. It was a little scary if you were down there. But yeah, people, it was super fun. And then you could, if you want to take a little breather outside and just watch the boat move along, and then it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good time. Okay.
Well, so we're coming up in our last few minutes of the show. If there are any families out there interested in participating next year, please make sure you follow us on social media, the Berkeley Electric page, or watch the mail for South Carolina Living Magazine. Or, as these guys found out, watch your email. We do send out emails about the opportunities to learn when and how to apply. Generally, it opens in January and closes February.
Yeah, the end of February. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can also contact Dana directly
By email.
Yeah, at danaj@bec.coop for more information. E-King, if someone is considering applying for Youth Tour, what would you tell them?
I would say if you're hesitant, you should just apply. It's like one of the best opportunities you'll have. You have a great time at for the youth tour. You just see all of DC, you get to meet a bunch of new people, and then just don't get intimidated by the application. I know that it says there's an interview. This interview's super chill.
Yeah.
Dana and a few other members there, you just talk, and then they just get to know who you are. So you don't have to put on a fake persona. They just want to know you, and then once you finish the thing, if you get chosen, that's amazing, and if not, then you still had a great opportunity to learn about the cooperatives as you go through your application, and then you get a chance at experience an interview overall. So I think that if you are considering applying, you should just do it.
Well, good. Thanks. I'm glad that you felt that way about the application process, because that's what I want, how I want the candidates to feel. Just come in there and be yourself. We just want to learn about you.
Right.
Yeah, see if you're a good fit and, get a lot out of it. Yeah.
I felt comfortable during the interview. I know some other people were nervous, but that's just normal.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And it's a good growth experience. Even if you're not selected, just going through the interview process is good practice for scholarship interviews or job interviews, whatever your next step brings.
Right.
All right, Yidong, what about Youth Summit? Why should someone apply if they're considering it?
I mean, first off, the biggest thing is definitely because it's all expense paid. It's free.
There you go.
Or you can make a few bucks.
That's true. I came home with a little extra spare change.
I mean, because obviously it's a great opportunity that it's pretty if you're living around this area, it's local. Obviously, it's free, so why not just go for it? Because I mean, it's meant for it's just for rising juniors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, for me at my age, there wasn't much to do because most camps require you to be out 16. So then I couldn't really find anything. But this obviously opens up a lot of opportunities for me to go out and do something. For learn more about local and statewide stuff.
And even though you had been to Columbia regularly, were there things that you got to see that you hadn't before?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because of obviously I never actually been to the State House before, because I don't only place because for us most of the stuff we do at USC.
Yeah, we just go to USC or Columbia College for the competitions. We never really go around at the area.
So not at this capacity. So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know, even though we live in the greater Charleston area, there's all kinds of tourist attractions that all of us drive by every day.
Yeah,
and
still haven't seen it all.
Yeah. So it's always, even though Columbia is right there, it's far less exotic than Washington, D.C., but there's always something you can learn and take away from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you planning to apply for Youth Tour next year?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's a great opportunity. It's also free. So
There you go.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
So as Libby said, if you're interested in learning more about Washington Youth Tour or Cooperative Youth Summit, just go to our website at berkeleyelectric.coop. Follow us on social media, or keep an eye out for the South Carolina Living Magazine in the mail. Applications open in January, and you have until about the end of February to submit your application. And you can always send me an email at danaj@bec.coop.
And, if you're a senior like E-King, we have college scholarships that we offer available. That application starts in January. We hand out $1,000, $2,500 scholarships each year. And if you're a teacher listening to this show, please encourage your high schoolers to apply for any of these opportunities, Youth Summit, Youth Tour, or our college scholarships. And then for our teachers, we have teacher grants.
Bright Ideas, yes.
Bright Ideas. And Dana single-handedly has handed out over $100,000 in the last 2 years to K through 12 teachers who just have a need and a great idea, and it's a very short application process. far less involved than youth tour.
Yes.
So thank you for tuning in to Power Talk. This is the official broadcast of your electric cooperative. You can catch up on past episodes on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio, or get a behind-the-scenes look on Berkeley Electric's YouTube channel.